Hi guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. This is our Yashahime season 2, episode 2 spoiler review. I wanted to have this out actually at 9:30 this morning, but I did not hear my alarm go off, so I apologize in advance. But I'm here. So, this episode, basically, if I were to describe this, I would say what was really going on is number one, Setsuna realized how incredibly cool her new Naginata is. And this is a very effed up retelling of The Little Mermaid, in that instead of having the Little Mermaid be in love with the prince, Medusa is in love with a fisherman from a poor village. That's basically what this is. It's almost like they combined Ursula, like the jealousy of Ursula, and the myth of Medusa into one sea snake demon. So this was, I don't want to say it was filler, but I really think this was really more to do with Setsuna realizing how cool her new weapon is. So it starts off with Riku. He's talking to this demon named Mini Senru, and he's like saying, "Oh, I heard that you betrayed, Kirimaru," and he's got these like demon heads with glowing red eyes and stuff behind him. They look like they're stone actually, and they were like, "Yeah, we heard rumor," and it's almost like that. It's like a whole like. What do you call it when you have Camelot and you go to the evil, I can't remember the name of the witch, it's not Morgana, but there's another witch that they go to get information in the woods. This is what this scene reminded me of, like Riku was going to talk to Mini Senru about something, and then you had all this like little talking demon type things in the background. We did learn that Riku is still trying to hurriedly collect all of the rainbow pearls. I don't think this is for Zero's benefit. I really don't know. But he does have a plan, and Minisaru said something like, "Oh, you want to be around, basically those girls." And he's like, "Yeah, that too, but I have to hurry up and collect all of the rainbow pearls." So I don't know what he's planning. And again, it could have something to do with Zero, but he helps Toa a lot in this episode. So I don't know. I need to see where his end game actually is, because he says he has no, like when Mini Senru says you have a plan of running, but you can't evade Kirimaru. He's like, I don't plan to. So I don't know what that was about. So Riku is always going to be that character that you're in the background. You're like, what the hell is going on with you? But I digress. So the demon statues also told him the blue rainbow pearl is in the forest of the east. So I think that's where he's going to be headed first, but he doesn't seem to be looking for it immediately. Or he could have been. I know he was playing around with the water and turning it to ice. So I don't know. He could have been. But simultaneously, Toa wakes up and Setsuna, like, they have their little reunion where she goes to hug her sister because her sister was primarily dead and she brought her back. But Setsuna is like, all right, you slept enough. I got time for this. She's like, she literally tells her she has to go on a mission to find this person called Bokinseno, which we heard about in the last episode, because she needs to find the Kyokan root to be able to get a new blade made for her sister, because she doesn't want Toa to keep using a broken blade anymore to channel her demon energy into it. So, but Toa's in her feelings. She's like, she could have just let me hug her longer, and she takes off. And then Maroha goes back to Jubei and brings like these little, demons that she killed when she was, in the last episode, when she was pretty much on bodyguard duty, and she doesn't get a lot of money for it. But she also asked Jubei, "Do you know about Bokinseno as well?" And he's like, "Well, I don't remember." He said, "But I know there's a demon that you can ask, but unfortunately, I don't know what this demon looks like, and you can't look at this demon." And I'm like, I already thought to myself, it's the same demon that Setsuna is going to be dealing with. And Toa goes to this village, and she sees that there are a lot of women around, and this little girl's hair scarf comes off, and everyone like freaks out, and so they start doing her hair up really quickly. And they learn that this like back in the day, there was a really sweet demon called Watasumi no Tamahi, who used to protect all the seas. So if fishermen fell into the water, she would save them. And then something happened, and they don't know what, and she just started attacking people, especially women with long, beautiful hair. And so they have to wrap their hair up, so I guess not to tempt the demon from attacking them, which is really interesting. So Toa is like immediately like, oh. Setsuna's got long, beautiful hair. Now I'm worried about my sister. So she runs off and she goes and talks to Kawaku, Kawaku, and he's like, do you like, he heard of the demon, but he didn't know where Setsuna was, and Hisue is there, and Kilala comes and she's like, do you know where Setsuna is? And of course Kilala makes a little cute noise of yes I do. So they kick off with Kilala to go find Setsuna. Maroha finds Setsuna first and lets her know about the demon they can't look at, and they don't know how to find this demon if you can't look at it, what it looks like. And then this woman comes and she's carrying these 2 heavy bags and she drops them. So of course Maroha's like, are you okay? We can carry these for you. So they carry the bags back to the woman's place and she rewards them by feeding them. Setsuna doesn't eat anything, but Maroha definitely does. And Tachioyo is also there and she eats, he eats everything. And I was always like, in my mind, I was always thinking, why didn't she just poison them? Do something that, to make them immobilized so they couldn't move. But I guess with Setsuna, it wouldn't have mattered because Setsuna did not eat anything. So, but the woman starts talking about the fact that Setsuna has, beautiful long hair. And Setsuna's like, she has a look at her face like, what the hell? And then she goes to touch it. And then they like leap away from her. And she's like, oh, you guys aren't human, which is interesting because I thought all demons could sense demon energy in others. So I don't know. Maybe that's just the oversight. I don't know. But so she basically wants to take out Setsuna for her hair. And when they ask why she's doing this, and they're using Tetsuchoya as like this big like shield, against her. So they're hiding behind him. And they're asking her, why are you doing this? And so this is where we get our Little Mermaid story, Medusa style. So apparently there was a ship that crashed, and it was basically a fisherman, as the same fisherman that she had observed, I guess, along the banks of the village that she instantly fell in love with, Little Mermaid style. She saves him. She brings him back to shore. Later, she wanted to see him again, so she made herself look like a sea snake, and she went up to the bank. Well, I guess the fisherman thinks they thought it was an omen or whatever. Or it could have been good luck. I don't know. But they decided to try and kill her, her as the snake. And the fisherman, he was the one that actually sliced her head off or tail off or whatever. And so she got really in her feelings about it and got ticked off. And so came and turned all the villagers on the bank to stone, including the guy that she was in love with. But then she wasn't able to turn back to her pretty, when she was a nice demon, her very pretty, long, luscious hair self. She's stuck in a form that looks just like, straight up, it looked like Medusa. And that's why she's so jealous of women with long hair, which is like I said, this is basically a retelling of the Little Mermaid with Medusa. So of course they're like, well, we got to fight her, but she's crazy. Toa shows up and Toa's like, I'm not going to let Setsuna be hurt again because she's terrified because if Setsuna gets killed again, they can't bring her back again. And so she is taking it upon herself to be extra super protective of her. So she leaps at the demon she has like mirror shades. Cause I swear she brought everything from the future. I don't understand. I don't even understand how she had them with her and how she knew to have them. I guess technically Kawaku could have told her that you couldn't look at the demon, but that she seems to, it's almost like the bat belt. She has everything. So she puts on those mirror shades so she doesn't have to look directly at the demon, and she leaps at her. And of course the woman, the snake demon sea snake demon is about to drown her in massive amounts of water, and then the water freezes and we see that it's Riku. So Riku is still protecting Toa. So they still have this whole, I guess, romance thing going on, slow burn romance thing going on, which is, it was very sudden for me last season and it's still interesting this season. But so while he froze the water, the Naginata starts talking to, she basically starts sensing through the Naginata that the fisherman that the woman was in love with, that she was referring to, the one she turned to stone, was underneath the water. And so she like leaps down there and gets him and then brings him up to the surface, and he's like crying. The stone man is crying, saying, I was always in love with you. And then of course the sea snake demon starts crying, and then she reverts to her pretty and nice former self. But then I guess they kind of implied, because when Toa and them were like going, basically flying off on Kilala, or flying away, sorry, that for some reason, I guess he can't be brought back. He can't be human anymore. Like, I guess once you're turned to stone, you're just turned to stone. I don't know how this works. And so Toa's like, I feel sorry for them. So even though the woman is back to normal, she realized the guy loved her, and she's now like heartbroken. I guess he can't come back. She can't undo the stone once you do it, which is it's just interesting because he's inside of there and he obviously was crying. So for me, that means he's not dead. So I don't know why she wasn't able to reverse it. You're a powerful demon. Why can't you reverse what you did? I don't know. It was just weird, but yeah, so they flew off. Without asking her, what they originally were setting off to ask her about. And that's who Bokuto is, so they could find, the root. So none of that got resolved. Like, they just flew off. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. It kind of felt like this episode was rushed. I'm sorry. It wasn't a bad episode at all. It just seemed like if this was going to be a filler, I feel like this was definitely a filler. We focused more on Medusa's story, and that's what I'm calling her, than we really did on anything else. Yes, we do get to see that the Naginata is cool. She still doesn't know how to fully use it, but it's very cool. We also saw that Toa is now super paranoid over Setsuna, even more than she was before. But Setsuna is also worried about Toa because she doesn't want her to use that blade anymore. So we got all of that. We know that's happening. But we didn't really learn anything new except for the fact that Riku is after the Rainbow Pearls. And then we also learned that he still, because at the end, he even says, I'm glad you're okay, Lady Toma, and then he wishes her basically, now it's time for you to go find the root, and it's just like, how did you even know they were looking for it? So I don't know if he was spying on them the whole time. I don't know what was going on with that. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that we got that, but everything else just seemed to be about this demon and her like vengeance against people, and for her not being able to look beautiful anymore with her long hair, and then her lover who she turned to stone. That's basically what I got out of this episode. Now the preview for next week does show that they're actually trying to figure out why Rin what happened with Rin and how to free Rin. So we are going to see that Rin is going to be definitely more of a focus for episode 3, which I'm excited about. I just really hope we're not doing that thing that we normally do in Yashahime, which kind of irritated me last season, where we have a run of a few really good episodes and then a bunch of filler episodes, and then a run, where nothing is actually resolved, and then more like we get little bits and pieces. And I don't want us to wait till the very end of this season, or the second half of the season, should I say, to actually have Inuyasha and Kagome and then them come back. I'm still holding hope that we're going to see Shippo. I don't know where Shippo is. I have no idea why we haven't seen him until this point. I don't get it at all. But right now I'm taking any little breadcrumbs I can get. So I am happy that we're going to get some kind of resolution about the girl's mother. We need to know if Rin can get out of that damn tree. So maybe Setsuna can go to sleep. I don't know if they'll be able to free her, though, next episode. Because, wouldn't that mean the dream butterfly would be destroyed? And I don't think they're ready to do that yet. Though, when Toa was bringing Setsuna back in the last episode, the butterfly did come up. And, Toa was like, why is a dream butterfly, here? And, Sesshomaru was like, don't worry about trivial things. And I don't know what that meant. So maybe we'll learn more about that also in the next episode. So, yeah, I have questions. I don't know what that moment was about. I still have no idea if Riku's trying to get the Rainbow Pearls to help Zero again, or to do something else. Maybe he's doing it to empower himself so he can beat Korinmaru. Maybe he wants to become Korinmaru. I don't know. Riku has an agenda, but it's good to see that he's still putting Toa's safety above whatever his plans are, because he didn't have to help her and he did. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know. Like I said, it was a good episode. I felt like I wish they had done a little bit more. I wish we had gotten, more of the girls trying to master their abilities. Maybe they would have just automatically found the root and they would have been able to have a blade made for Toa for her to train with. I think that would have been very cool. I would have actually liked for them to see Sesshomaru again. I don't want him to be, okay, to be fair, it is canon. He would be like a helicopter dad, because that's just who Sesshomaru is. But I don't know. I wish, because we got to see how much he cared about the girls in the last episode. It's fairly obvious. Even in season 1, you could see moments where, those were his, especially when he first took the girls and they were, people, I think Zero was trying to attack them at one point, or somebody was trying, as a demon 4-0 was trying to attack them, and he like killed them instantly. So I do like when they show Sesshomaru's connection to the girls. But at the same time, I really wish we had more. Like, I don't know why Sesshomaru does not just say it. Like, why doesn't he just come out and say, what the hell is actually going on? What does he have to lose? I mean, they've already fought Kurimaru. And another thing that I learned in this episode that I thought was interesting, a little sidetrack or side note, Mini Senru, the demon in the beginning that Riku was talking about, actually said Kurimaru, when he was fighting the girls, was holding back. So even though he killed Setsuna, which I think he only killed her because she hurt his face. And I think he's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type. So like, that's when, the cray comes out. Don't hurt my face. But apparently the entire time he was fighting them, he wasn't even using his full power. He was holding himself back. Which I think that tracks for me, because Kurimaru did say to Setsuna he was going to mark her name on his heart and he couldn't wait to meet her again. So that pretty much entails that he knew that Sesshomaru was going to heal his kid. So, or bring his kid back, so find a way to bring her back. Kurimaru's weird. I have a question mark. I can't wait till we actually get to see his daughter, because I feel like a lot of questions when Leon is here, I feel like a lot of questions will be answered, but I don't know. I feel like, I just really feel like Sesshomaru, I need them to flesh him out a little bit. I need to know why he has to be so secretive about what is going on with Rin in the tree. Because I really feel like he's not. I mean, I don't understand the reason to not be transparent with his kids at this point. I don't get it. And maybe the next episode we'll see it. Maybe we will see him actually be more transparent. But I don't know. It's very, very weird. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, YouTube does that. It's notorious for not giving notifications for streams. I have another one coming up today at 1:30 for the Midnight Mass show on Netflix. Just a heads up, it's in the community tab. So, but yeah, sometimes it'll let you guys know. Sometimes it won't. I don't know why. It's something with Google, which is crazy, but it happens. But yeah, so overall, I really like this episode. I just feel like it was a little bit filler. Like, I really could have had less time to think about what's going on with my Medusa Little Mermaid moment in this. Because I mean, that's literally what this is. It was a little Medusa, like instead of Little Mermaid, it was a little Medusa retelling, with the Naginata being very cool for Setsuna. That's literally what I got out of this, outside of Riku trying to find the rainbow pearls. But yeah. Yeah. So I am excited for next week. Again, I really hope that we do actually get to see the entire breakdown of what happened with Rin. I think that would be very beneficial, because I just don't understand why Sesshomaru is not saying anything. I don't know why Jockin's not saying anything. Why are you not telling these girls what happened to their mother? What is the harm? Like, I don't understand, unless you just really are worried that they're going to make Setsuna go to sleep and then Rin's going to die. But she's tethered to Zero. So, I mean, I don't understand. And then the girls accidentally killed Zero last season. Well, they didn't accidentally. They killed her. And Sesshomaru came and brought her back because he didn't want Rin to die, because they're connected. But that could have been avoided had Sesshomaru actually told his children not to kill her because she's connected to their mom, and told them the entire story. I don't understand why he's not being transparent with his kids. It's like they have to find out when we find out, which is really weird to me. I don't know. That's just me. But that's what the show is. It's I feel like the entire plot is it's a great show, but it is a slow burn. So you just spend all of your time collecting pieces of information that you really should already know. By the time you get to the end, we should be a lot more advanced than we are right now. This is literally the second arc, our second season, however you want to look at it. And I don't know. I just felt like that whole situation the whole situation, especially in part of Sesshomaru not being transparent with Toa and with Setsuna, is just really weird. I do think, I don't know, I guess I underestimated Demon's abilities. I always thought if you did something, there's a way to undo it in this universe. I don't understand why the sea snake demon, aka Medusa, could not unstone, like just undo her, what she did to her, the guy that she loved. Like, he's obviously in there, and like he's crying. He's like, "I love you," through the stone. I don't know how the hell he's still alive. I mean, I don't know how long he's been in that state. But I mean, he should be dead. He should have died of like dehydration or starved to death at this point. But I digress. I don't know why she was not able to undo it. So that's the other question, I guess, that I have overall for this episode. But yeah, outside of that, I'm just happy they keep including Maroha and not, really leaving her out. And it seems like they are bonded more. And I like that. That's all I wanted for those three girls. I wanted them to act more like family members because they're cousins. The sisters are Maroha's cousins. So I wanted them to treat her more like family. I hated when the demon was talking about, when she was pretending to be the woman, she was like talking about her happiest memory and how Maroha said she doesn't have any memories like that. That is heartbreaking. So I'm really in my feelings about Maroha. She's like my little baby. So now I need people to take care of her. No, this show is not on Netflix. The show that I'm doing at 1:30 is a Netflix series. It's a horror, technically a horror review. So that will be the 1:30 stream. But all right, that is my review. We are at 21 minutes. So if you guys, I know some of you will be in later to watch this. If you guys have any questions, concerns, ideas, theories on what else is going to happen in this season, do you think they're going to be able to help Rin in the next episode? What do you think is going to happen with Riku? Why is he, trying to gather up all of the rainbow pearls? What's going to happen with Sensei Corinne in the future? Because, we still haven't gone back to modern times to see what the hell's happening with that and the comet. Did the comet already hit? I don't think so. So, there's so many things we have to have answered in this. So, I'm very curious to think, basically, know what you guys think about it so we can keep the conversation going. So, yeah. But, yeah, if it is night for you guys, have a good night. If it is day for you guys, have a good day. And if you can, catch my next stream at 1:30 where we review the horror show from Netflix called Midnight Mass. Bye, guys.